Update: my girlfriend just gave birth to our first child. I know I'm not the biological father and I revealed I knew as soon as she gave birth. Original post. I'll try to keep this short because I'm planning to go to a bar soon. I found out when she was about 6 months along. The guy, Brian, approached me at my work. "Are you Sarah's boyfriend?" I said yeah and asked what he wanted. He said he was sorry that he had slept with her and swore he didn't know that she was with someone. I don't believe that. He then pulled out his phone to show me the texts between them. They had been sleeping together or linking up for at least a year. Then she found out she was pregnant and they came to an agreement to just pretend the baby was mine. In return, she wouldn't lose her perfect life and he wouldn't be responsible for a baby. I knew it was weird. We had been having problems trying for a baby and all of a sudden she got pregnant so easily. But he explained that he had been thinking about it and he recently became a Christian. He said that he couldn't live his life knowing that I was living a lie while his child didn't know their real father. So yeah. I told him I'd keep in touch, and to not say that he said anything just yet. I've had a lot of time to think, but ultimately I decided to wait until she gave birth, to hurt her in her most vulnerable moment. I'll spare the details, but she went into labor, the baby was born, and was taken to the NICU to be monitored for a bit. What should have been a beautiful moment of me holding my baby was the most heartbreaking time of my life. Just knowing he was not mine hurt me. Once she was sewn up and comfortable I started packing my stuff to leave. She asked where I was going and I just told her. I know I'm not baby's name's father. You can act all shocked but I know. Just ask Brian to come, I'm positive he'll sign the birth certificate. Then I left. She's been calling my phone over and over, even sending texts as I type this, and has even gotten her sister to call me a few times. It was hard pretending these last few months but I think I'm satisfied. I feel really heartbroken though. I was planning to propose to her on the day our baby was born. I was going to make her the happiest woman ever. Oh well. I'm going to go get crap face now. Reading the top comments before the updates. Might want to get a DNA test first. This happened to my parents. My mom was messing around with my dad's friend. My dad knew. My brother was born and my dad separated my mom. My brother was a beet red baby. My mom is half native and her lover was Mexican, so everyone concluded based on my brother's looks that he must be the other guy's. 5 years later my brother is sporting fair skin and blonde hair. They did a paternity test. He was my dad's after all. It took another 6 years for my dad to get custody. He now looks like our dad's doppelganger. My husband and I are from Southeast Asia. Genetics is fun for us because our ancestors could be from the Arab Peninsula, India/Pakistan/Sri Lanka, Portuguese, Dutch, British, Chinese, etc., because of trade routes and colonization. My kids were so fair that people thought they were mixed Eurasian/one parent was Chinese, fairer skin tone, and people would politely ask my mom if she was their grandmother. My kids hit 7-8 years old, their skin became tan instead of fair, and no one asked my mom anything except their age. I'm lucky that my daughter looks exactly like me and my son has my husband's nose and jawline. Get a DNA test just to be 100% sure the child isn't yours, but you did the right thing leaving her. Make sure you have the text from Brian so she can't twist the narrative. You also need the DNA test so she can't put you on child support because if you're in the USA it'll be hell to get you off if once the courts deem you the father. I'm like 110% sure that's not my kid just from looking at him, but I'll get the test. I get that, but just be on the safe side. You wouldn't want to find out 10 years later that it's yours and you missed out on all the time and moments with the child. It won't hurt having something definitive that says you aren't the father. I plotted revenge against my ex-husband when I found out he was cheating on me while I was pregnant with our son. It felt good in the moment to stick it to him by telling the husband of his mistress what went on, but I was still miserable. It's been 3 years and I'm still in therapy for what he did. Best of luck, OP. I hope you get therapy too. How exactly did you get revenge? I told the husband of his mistress that his wife was cheating on him. I made a viral video about it on TikTok so it got back to his family. He's in the military so he also got kicked out of base housing after I left with our kids. Small update. Head hurts, but I'm home and safe. I wasn't really expecting this to gain as much traction as it did, but I'll clear up a few things. Brian is going to be in the baby's life if it's his. I don't care what anyone says, I'm sure the kid isn't mine. I'll go get tested, but me and Brian have been in contact since last night and there isn't a doubt in my mind. For those of you calling me a psychopath or whatever, I don't really care. You'll all forget about this post in a day anyway, while I'll have to live with this crap for the rest of my life. What I did wasn't amazing, but I don't care. All I ever did was treat her amazing, and this is how she pays me back. If you think this is fake, go read something else, doesn't matter to me. Update. Hi everyone. I just wanted to start by saying I would have updated sooner, but it takes a bit to get test results back. I've also been working on myself in the meantime. Thanks for all the support. I'll cut to the chase. I am not the father. But I already knew that deep down. Brian and the baby are a match, so that pretty much answers that question. He's very excited to be a dad, even despite the circumstances. We've kept in touch this whole time, and he's actually a really great guy, goes to church now, volunteers at shelters, etc. I'm not sure if we'll continue to stay in touch after this, but I wouldn't mind getting a drink with him every once in a while. I hope the kid does great in life. He should, with Brian as his dad. As for Sarah, around the time I posted, she had asked Brian to be with her officially since there was nothing to hide. As far as I know, he has not taken her up on that offer and just wants to co-parent for the sake of being in his kid's life. I think that's very smart of him, honestly. Me and her have talked as well. We talked about where it all went wrong. She felt as though I wasn't there for her fully and just felt unfulfilled, which I understand. I wasn't always the best guy, but I treated her the best I could. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. She started crying and I did give her a hug, but I made sure she knew it wasn't because I cared about her. She's offered to stay friends and for me to visit if I want, but I declined. I'm not really interested in keeping up with her and her kid, but I did give her the stuffed animal I was planning to give our kid someday as a gift. She's been staying with her mom and has fully moved out her stuff. She asked me to keep her number, but I blocked her the same day she finished moving out. So it's just me now. I'm not gonna lie, my heart has been super heavy. But I think I'll be okay. There's a cute girl at my work and we've been talking. She's a single mom and has been awesome so far. I explained that I wanted to go slow because of my recent breakup and she understands. We've hooked up once or twice, nothing serious yet. I just want to be by myself for now, but I'll likely give her a shot when I'm ready. That's it for now. I'm depressed, but I'm working out now at least. I never want to talk to Sarah again and will likely never see her. It sucks because she was such a big part of my life, but that's gone now. Thanks for all the support. I'll answer questions if you guys have more. Edit. Just wanted to mention that I still don't feel bad about what I did. I can tell she's still hurting, but I definitely think it's deserved. Reading the top comments before the update. You handled that all incredibly well. I'm glad you gave us an update because this internet stranger was concerned and rooting for you. Everything meant for you will find you, and you'll be a great partner and parent, if you want, one day. Hang in there. Yeah, you got this. We've all been through our fair share of trauma and we always overcome it because we grow and move on. It'll be a long process but it'll be worth it. I believe in you, and I know for a fact that everything bad that happened to you will be compensated in the form of everything good. In the meantime, if you don't mind watching some Netflix, do watch BoJack Horseman. I don't know why, but it really helped me when I was going through my depression phase, and I really hope it contributes, even minutely, to your healing process, if not entirely. And remember that this community's got you, fam. Good luck. Just felt I should mention, though, that repeatedly hooking up with a single mom from work is not moving slowly or carefully. If you really want to heal from your last relationship, I'd advise foregoing sex in favor of being single and hanging out with friends. Also, if you're feeling at loose ends, confused, etc., do a nice single mom a favor by being careful not to give any impression that you're developing feelings for her if you're honestly not interested in anything lasting. More people say they can do strictly friends with benefits than can actually do it. Yeah, I definitely don't want to add more drama to her life with her being a mom and everything. I am interested in her, I just want to focus on getting myself in a good spot so I don't drag crap into my next relationship. The segs was her idea mostly, she said she was fine with casual stuff. I'd definitely be honest with her if I completely wanted to stop seeing her or didn't think it would go long term. Keep pushing forward, bro. I'm optimistic for your future. I'm trying to be optimistic. Thanks, man. Last update. I keep getting DMs asking me to update, so here's one. Been roughly 8 months. Check my profile for the original story. No, I don't talk to Sarah. Screw Sarah. Haven't seen her. Last I heard, she moved about 3 hours away with her mom to be closer to some family. I used to see her around town a lot, so I'm beyond grateful she's gone. She would attempt to have conversations with me sometimes in the first month after she gave birth, but that soon stopped. As for Brian, we text occasionally. And yes, we did go out for that beer. He overall seems happy to be a father, but we don't talk about Sarah. I don't keep up much with him anyway. We're both hard-working men with jobs, kids, and lives to live, so it's kinda hard to keep up. I don't think they're together at all, but who knows? Speaking of kids, the woman who was a single mom that I started seeing? We're still together. Her kid is awesome, and I love being her stepdad, to be honest. So a big middle finger to those who told me to stop talking to her or that it wasn't gonna work. It may seem like we moved fast, but at this point, I don't care. I've never loved anyone more. We communicate properly, hardly fight, it's just so much fun. I initially was gonna cut all contact with her after falling into a bad drinking habit, but she really kept me grounded. I didn't meet my stepdaughter for a while, but when I did, I knew I couldn't leave. Being part of this little family has healed me in ways I literally can't fathom. And before anyone says I just use them to deal with the trauma of not having my own kid, that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm in therapy, I got my crap together, and most days I don't even think about my ex. Hell, I even forgot about this damn account. Words cannot describe how much my life has picked up. Thank you, Reddit strangers, for being there in the darkest time of my life. Honestly, it helped. Hoping to propose to my girlfriend sometime in the future. That's it. Bye. Next story. Update: I got a girl pregnant that I barely know and she wants to keep the baby. Original post. Back in June, my family and I went on a cruise for vacation. For anyone who hasn't been on a cruise, it's basically a giant all-inclusive party. So while my parents had spa appointments or lounged by the pool, I would just go to the clubs or the pool bar and have fun. I met a girl on the cruise the first night we were there, and we just instantly clicked. She's gorgeous, funny, and we had a lot in common. We exchanged numbers and hung out again the next day too. Her family was staying just one day shy of mine, and we pretty much hung out for the rest of her trip. We did hook up more than once, so obviously we had a lot of fun together. We Snapchatted some after the trip, but she lives in South Carolina and I live in Florida, so we didn't really talk and just kinda moved on. Then one random day while I was working, she called me like 3 times. I hadn't heard from her in weeks, so I thought it was weird. I stepped out into the back and gave her a call. That's when she told me that she was pregnant. I was in complete shock. We used condoms and everything. And also, she sounded very excited, not upset or anything. I asked her what she wanted to do and if she needed money, and she seemed confused. She said that obviously she was keeping it. Well, that's just not something that I agree on. I understand it is her body and her choice, but the logistics just don't make sense. She's 10 weeks now, we've talked on the phone since that first call, and I've gone over options with her. She fully expects me to move to South Carolina to be with her and help her raise it. This is my first week of college, and I told her I intend to graduate here. I can't afford an out-of-state school, I can't afford to just move. How am I supposed to afford a kid? And we don't even have a relationship. Yes, we got along well, but that's completely different from being a parent with someone. She thinks we can just try co-parenting, but I'd still have to move for that to work out. It just seems like she has this big, delusional plan and doesn't understand why it won't just work out. She thinks I'm the one preventing it from working because I refuse to move. I don't know how else to explain to her that this just won't work. Edit: we did use condoms. And a lot of people have asked this, but some were hers and some were mine. I didn't notice anything off about either. But I'll also admit that I fully utilized the open bar the majority of the trip. Also, it was from June 26th to July 2nd. I don't know how pregnancy math works, but the comments are all over the place on that. Reading the top comments before the updates. Get a paternity test. Just because you two had sex does not immediately mean you are the father. There is always the possibility she could be lying. You do not truly know her well enough to be 100% sure she is not deceptive. There is also a possibility she wants you on the hook for money, stability, or the original baby batter donor is unwilling to be a part of her life. Be smart. Get the facts. I told her that's something I want, and she doesn't agree to it. She insists that I'm the only guy she slept with in months, but like you said, I don't know her that well to trust her. Do not sign the birth certificate without evidence. Don't be on the hook for child support if the baby is not yours. Definitely not doing that. I know you can get a paternity test while she's pregnant, but I don't think you can get a court-ordered one until it's born. Update. Sorry it's been a bit, but I've had a lot going on the past 2 days, obviously. I did tell my parents, they were pretty surprised and disappointed, but they also agreed that we don't even know for sure if it's mine. This also isn't their first rodeo with all this. My brother knocked up his high school sweetheart, so we're just doing a great job of making them proud. They have a lawyer they've used before, so we were able to have a call with him. He actually helped me draft a text to send to her, basically saying that I won't respond until a DNA test can be done. They do have non-invasive tests that can be performed while she's pregnant, they're just expensive. My parents offered to help me out with the costs, but I'm just going to suck it up and cover it myself. I texted her that and didn't reply to anything else she sent. She went off on a tangent about how I'm the only person she slept with in months, that it's fate, we're meant to be together and all that. Then there was silence for a bit, and finally she agreed to do a test. My parents' lawyer found a doctor who can perform it, and we scheduled it for next Tuesday. So I'll be driving up to South Carolina just for the test and coming back down. I really don't want to miss much class, but apparently not many places are open this weekend because of the holiday. She still texts me and tries to FaceTime me. I haven't had the heart to send anything back outside of just planning to go up there for the test. She's trying to plan for me to meet her parents, go to dinner and all that, but that's not what this trip is for. She added me to a baby Pinterest board, asked me about names, I just can't handle it. I also made an appointment with my doctor to look into getting a vasectomy, because this has just scared the crap out of me and I'd rather not have it ever happen again. Edit, we did use condoms, jeez. Also, it's my preference to get a vasectomy. I know it could be permanent, that's the point. That's something for me to decide. Also, it's a European cruise, guys. You can drink at 18, and we stopped at multiple ports for us to get off of, so yes, you can leave early. Any updates from here will just be on my page, but I'll post the test results here when I get them. Last update. Got the results back early, the baby is definitely mine. I have no idea what I'm going to do. Yes, we used condoms for the millionth time. Edit, I'd like to add that she knows the results too. She asked me if I still felt the same about not wanting to be involved. Also, her parents want us to get married now, drop everything, and move to South Carolina. I'm not going to skip out on child support, I'm going to talk to my parents, lawyer, and therapist. And yes, I know I'm an idiot and a terrible person. That's nothing new. I have an appointment set up next week to look into getting a vasectomy still.